Welcome to my video on middleware in .NET Core. In this video, we'll explore the concept of middleware, its importance, and how it works in the .NET Core framework. By the end of this video, you'll have a better understanding of how middleware enables developers to write modular and reusable components that can be easily plugged into the request pipeline, creating a flexible and extensible way to add functionality to an application. Middleware is a crucial part of the .NET Core architecture. It acts as a bridge between the web server and the application, allowing developers to write modular and reusable components that can be easily plugged into the request pipeline. In this video, we will explore the concept of middleware in .NET Core, its importance, and how it works. What is middleware? Middleware is a piece of code that sits between the web server and the application. It processes requests and responses, transforming or enriching them as they pass through the pipeline. Middleware components can be added to the pipeline in a specific order to create a chain of handlers that each perform a specific task. Middleware can be used for a wide variety of purposes, including authentication and authorization. Middleware can be used to authenticate users and enforce access control policies. Caching. Middleware can be used to cache responses, improving performance and reducing server load. Compression. Middleware can be used to compress responses, reducing the amount of data sent over the network. Logging. Middleware can be used to log requests and responses, providing valuable insight into the behavior of the application. Routing. Middleware can be used to route requests to different controllers or actions based on their path or query string. Middleware in .NET Core. In .NET Core, middleware is implemented as a function that takes two parameters, an HTTP context object and a function that represents the next middleware component in the pipeline. The middleware function can modify the request or response before passing it on to the next middleware component, or it can choose to short-circuit the pipeline by not calling the next function. Here is an example of a simple middleware component that adds a custom header to the response. In this example, the custom header middleware class defines a constructor that takes a request delegate object, which represents the next middleware component in the pipeline. The invoke-async method is called for each incoming request and adds a custom header to the response. Finally, it calls the next middleware component in the pipeline by invoking the _next delegate. To use this middleware component in an ASP.NET Core application, you need to add it to the middleware pipeline in the startup.cs file. In this example, the useMiddleware method is called to add the custom header middleware component to the pipeline. Middleware ordering. The order in which middleware components are added to the pipeline is important. Each component processes the request or response in turn, and the output of one middleware component becomes the input of the next. Therefore, the order of the middleware components can affect the behavior of the application. For example, if you want to add authentication to your application, you should add the authentication middleware component before any other middleware components that require authentication, such as authorization or routing. This ensures that the user is authenticated before the request is processed by other middleware components. To specify the order of middleware components, you can use the extension methods that accept an order parameter. The lower the order number, the earlier the middleware component will be called in the pipeline. In this example, the authentication middleware is added first, followed by the custom header middleware component and the MVC middleware. So in the end, we can say that middleware is a powerful feature of the .NET Core framework that enables developers to write modular and reusable components that can be easily plugged into the request pipeline. It provides a flexible and extensible way to add functionality to an application, allowing developers to customize the behavior of their application without having to modify the core code. In addition to the built-in middleware components provided by the framework, developers can also create their own custom middleware components to meet specific requirements. Custom middleware components can be developed using any .NET Core compatible language, including C# and F#. One of the benefits of using middleware in .NET Core is that it promotes separation of concerns, making it easier to maintain and evolve the application over time. Middleware components can be developed and tested independently, and they can be easily swapped in and out of the pipeline as needed.
Thanks for tuning into this video. If you found this content valuable, please give it a thumbs up and share it with your friends and colleagues. And if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to our channel for more great content like this. By hitting that subscribe button, you'll never miss out on the latest insights, tips, and strategies that we share. So, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.